1-minute high-level main points from the candidates.
Toronto's mayoral candidates squared off in a public debate held at Toronto's Gladstone Hotel. Hosted by the Globe and Mail and Direct Engagement Show, the night's discussion focused on how to make Toronto a better place for small and medium-sized businesses. One issue concerning Toronto's gay and lesbian community is whether or not Toronto's future mayor will support the city's annual funding of Toronto's Gay Pride Festival. Toronto Pride reportedly generated $136 million to the city's economy in 2009, largely supporting local businesses. InToronto posed the following question to the panel. As mayor, will you instruct City Council to maintain funding for Toronto Pride Week so that local businesses will continue to benefit? And how else will you show your support for the festival? Here's what each candidate had to say.
It's very simple. We either fund all the parades or we fund none of the parades. And right now, we're picking and choosing. And I don't believe that, the St. Patrick's Day doesn't get any funding, the Santa Claus Parade doesn't get any funding, so we're picking and choosing. So we either fund them all or we fund none. And right now, I don't think we're in the position of funding any. We're $3 billion in debt. I think parades are great. We have to get the private sector involved and let them sponsor or put on some parades. But to turn around and start funding every single parade when you're $3 billion.
Thank you very much. Rob?
Festivals are who we are. We celebrate that and bring us tourist dollars. They're good things. That's why the City of Toronto invests in Caribana. That's why we invest in Gay Pride Parade. I think it's a good thing. The question of parade, festivals, however, they have to follow city policies, and that's what Caribana is asked for, and the Gay Pride Parade has been asked as well. And I think they have lived up to it up to now, and we have to make sure that that continues. But otherwise, I think we need to celebrate more in Toronto. We're not a bunch of dour individuals. That's how we live to have fun.
Okay, there's a real difference between the Santa Claus Parade and the Pride Parade. The Pride Parade brings in millions and millions of people, and they spend money in our businesses. I think we should fund it.
Well, as a former small business person on Church Street, I know the positive impact for small business of the Pride Festival. I think it should be supported. I think there is something to be said, though, for expanding the supports for a broader array of parades and festivals in Toronto as an arts and culture and economic development strategy. I don't see why Pride gets support and Caribana gets support, but as an example, Taste of the Danforth doesn't. To me, this is actually one of the great opportunities that we have to support small business and to allow arts and culture to flourish. If I'm elected as mayor, you should see expansion of support.
Well, I think you see at the end of the day some supported and some not, because as a business person you want to double down on the things that are great and that give you the highest return. I don't think it's been done as efficiently and effectively as possible because, as George points out, Taste of the Danforth, which also has enormous impact, is not funded, is not assisted. But My Toronto includes Pride, and so long as, and my only objection this year and would be next year, would be if hate speech is allowed in the form of queers against Israeli apartheid, I would not support it. What are we going to do?
The debate drew a capacity crowd. Here's what some spectators had to say about the event.
It was really nice to see the candidates addressing the important sector of small, medium-sized business, which accounts for more than half of the jobs in the city.
They're pretty good on camera. So I came to actually sort of see how they were off camera as well.
I understand how important these cultural events are, whether it's Pride, whether it's music, whether it's visual arts. This is part of what makes Toronto great. A lot of times, maybe we as Torontonians and even the politicians in Toronto take these things for granted.
Pride Toronto's annual general meeting is scheduled for September 23rd. Toronto's election day is October 25th. For In Toronto, I'm Michael Piak.